Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I'm Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, as you can see, I am back in the Freedom Hut. I have come back from the NRA Show in Houston, but today's video is something that I gathered there while I was at the SDI booth. Now, I'm sure you guys are aware, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, SDI is a sponsor of this channel, and the reason why they're a sponsor is because they are positively impacting the future of the Second Amendment through gunsmithing, through different educational opportunities, and that's one of the reasons I partner with them so intensely on this channel. Well, the interview I'm about to show you gives you a deeper dive into kind of their technology, what they do, and how it has a positive outcome for you or anybody you know to further the Second Amendment as we go forward in our mission to pass this on to the next generation. I hope you enjoy the interview. Let me know what you guys think in the comments field below, and if you want to find out more, there is a link in the description box which you can do just that. Thank you so much. Now let's jump over to myself at the NRA Show, where I'm interviewing Rick, one of the lead trainers. All right, guys, so as I said in the intro, we are here at the SDI booth at the NRA Show. This is a great time, but I have a special guest for you guys, so we can actually translate everything that we talk about on this channel. SDI has been kind enough to sponsor us on a lot of videos. This is Rick, the man from SDI, so we're going to do a little bit of the stuff, kind of demystify SDI a little bit, because I think there's a lot of value in that. So first of all, just thanks for coming on, man. That's incredible for you to talk to these guys, because they see your logo, but the person behind it's a big deal, right? So one of the things, guys, that I think is really important for you is, what does SDI actually practically apply in the real world? And that's kind of why Rick was kind enough to give us a few seconds of our time. So the big question for you is, I mean, walk me through your background. Like, how did you meet SDI? What's the why for you to be in this industry with SDI?
Okay, so I've been in the field of gunsmithing for about 13 years. So I started gunsmithing back in 2009. That's when I went to gunsmithing school.
Cool.
Before that, I was working a gun counter.
Gotcha.
Normal, I would say grunt labor, but just working your way up through the industry, what you have to do. I mean, that's just what you have to do.
Right, and that's actually how I got my start in the gun industry as well. So like, it's just like any other industry. Like you start right there, and as you add more skills, you have more responsibilities. You go with that ladder. I mean, that's the way that it would work, right?
Yeah. Well, and when I started at the gun counter,
yeah,
I knew nothing about guns.
You're not alone.
Other than I knew how to pull a trigger. I hunted with my dad when I was little.
Okay.
But I didn't know ammo.
Yeah.
I actually had to have the manager. He was a nice guy. I consider him my mentor.
Okay.
But I had to have the manager walk me around and tell me, okay, what does S&W stand for on this?
Oh, that was like brand new.
Yeah.
Well, and that actually speaks to SDI. Like if you can pick up from that level and move forward.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, I was starting. All I knew when I was going to come to gunsmithing school.
Yeah.
Is that I liked working with my hands. I liked being outside.
Yep.
And I liked wood. I liked metal. Working.
Yeah, of course.
Put that together. That's a gunsmith.
Oh no, 100%, and you'll see a very common vibe with a lot of the viewers that are on my channel as well. That's a very common thing, right? Like working with your hands, solving problems, fixing things, and being kind of meticulous. That's huge for a lot of people. It's almost cathartic for some people, right? So, with your background, like walk me through the why. Like SDI obviously is a unique product offering that you guys are reaching out to more people. That a lot of people reach out from the channel. Why SDI? Like, why do you see this as being something that could add value to their life? Like, what's the payoff? Well, not really payoff, but what's the benefit?
Well, I want to answer that by something that I think a lot of people will see as a con, but I see it as a benefit. Okay. And that's, how can you learn gunsmithing online?
That's very true. It's very valuable.
How can you? When I first heard of SDI, so I went to a school based out of Colorado for gunsmithing. Okay. Back before SDI was really in it. Yeah. And when I first heard about SDI, I was like, exactly that way. And I was after having come out of gunsmithing school, how can you learn gunsmithing online? Right. That doesn't work. It does work because a gunsmith needs to know theory. They need to know design. They need to know physics. They need to have that understanding. A lot of our students will get concerned, and I have to kind of calm their nerves because they say, there's so many guns out there. How do you know everything? How do you learn it all? Okay, when you know the basic operating systems, gas-operated blowback, recoil-operated, yada, 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 there's only a few. Right. And cosmetics will change. The skin will change, but the bones won't.
Right. Well, that's a really great example. That's a really great example.
And when you learn about the cycle of operations, the 8 steps of cycle of operations, like you and I can be having a conversation about a malfunction you're having in your firearm. We don't have to firearm.
Right.
You tell me about it, and it starts going into my brain, and I'm seeing it working inside my brain because I know how that firearm functions.
Right. So it's,
and I diagnose it.
Right. So it's very similar. I mean, I love the tie-in because it's very similar to something like these guys might experience. Like anything, any industry, anything, you have to start with the basics. You build on, like you said, on the bones, then you get the muscles, then you get the skin, and you can kind of back out of that once you understand the bare bones. I love that. So that actually leads in really nicely to another question. It's like a lot of the people on this channel, yeah, there's the understanding of the basics and the bones, but how does that translate? Like, what's the feedback been from the people who have inquired, have joined, like, or have said, you know what, I'd like to do that? What's the feedback?
Surprised, just like I was.
Okay.
Just like so I came on to SDI teaching.
Gotcha.
Right away, because I was already a gunsmith and practiced for a number of years.
Yeah.
But I came on instructing. Now my students had the same fear, I guess, or
hesitancy, right? Yeah.
But then they were surprised. Holy cow, this does work.
Right.
And it actually, to tell you the truth, works better because when I went through gunsmithing school, we worked with guns, and they're called cutaway firearms. A lot of people will know what those are.
Right.
Have little windows cut in all, like little spots, like in the slide or the frame,
right,
or whatever. And you're supposed to peek in through these little windows and see everything working.
Right.
But you can't see everything. Now with animations, we work with technology. That's SDI embraces technology.
Gotcha.
A lot of gunsmithing schools, the one that I went to being one of them, and I love them to death. You know, we have no animosity, but we're stuck in the past, working with things in the past. Because SDI is technologically based, we work in the future. We work.
Right.
How can technology benefit us? And what we're utilizing a lot is animation. So how can we use animations to give a better instruction? And you can, because instead of peeking through these little windows, I'm cutting a whole firearm.
100%, right. And it's honestly, again, going back to other industries, I mean, that's essentially a CAT scan. Like you're doing layer by layer by layer, and you can take that apart and you can see what's going on. I can immediately see that being a benefit. And that's awesome. So stacking on everything that we've talked about, your background, the students' backgrounds, the technological aspects and advantages, where do you see this going? Like, I mean, from a standpoint of almost revolutionizing the industry, because no one else does it, to your point. I've never seen anyone else apply technology in this industry, because there are some situations, 100% agree with you, where it's very archaic in the way that this industry will operate sometimes. Where do you see that going, and how do these guys like kind of filter into that? How do they tie into something and be part of something that is new and amazing?
Well, first of all, when you come to SDI, you're part of a family.
Okay.
I don't know how else to put it.
No, that's a great way to put it.
A family loves each other. We love our students, and we love each other, the employees. And so, but also because we embrace technology, we want our students to embrace it.
Of course.
So that's where I see. I tell my students all the time, the next John Moses Browning is going to be an SDI student.
Oh, that's an awesome way to say it.
We need the next John Moses.
He's
Browning.
probably out there,
So,
or she's out there. We don't discriminate.
Exactly. So yeah, it's what would it be? Jeanette?
You know what? We'll just call her Jane Doe Browning.
Okay.
There you go.
But yeah, but we want them to embrace technology.
Right.
We don't want them to stay in the past. Embrace it, move forward. I mean, there's so much cool stuff coming.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, in 2 years from now, it's going to be different. Right. So.
No, that's awesome. Well, I mean, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I think that was a really good breakdown. Like where we've been, where we're going, what we're doing, the future. I think that's awesome, and I appreciate it, man. Hey, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And guys, make sure you check out SDI, and they're a friend of the channel, they're a sponsor, and we will be involved a lot more, at least as I hope so. But I hope that was helpful for you guys, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden, signing out.